To all the Emily in Paris lovers, the season 4 is to be unveiled on August 15th. To those who are busy to watch all seasons again, we bring you a recap on every season with all the details you need to know before watching the newest season. So let's recap the first season of Emily in Paris. It's all started when Emily Cooper, a young spontaneous yet hard-working girl from Chicago, had to move into Paris for work. Emily works for the Gilbert Group, a marketing firm which recently acquired a French marketing company, Savoir. Emily's boss Madeleine, supposed to take the job in Paris in order to help the transition, but she got pregnant unexpectedly, thus making Emily to be in charge of the transition for a year. Emily had an offer from the company. If she would work for a year in France, she would get the senior brand executive position once she returns to Chicago. She made her boyfriend convince for the proposition and moved to Paris. The only hiccup was Emily can't speak French. On arrival to her apartment in Paris, Emily changes her Instagram handle, from Emily Cooper to Emily in Paris. At that moment, she only had 48 followers on her account. On her first day in Savoir, she got to meet her colleagues, but unfortunately they didn't know about the replacement, and they expected an employee to be fluent in French. At Savoir, she got to meet the founder of Savoir, Paul, Emily's new boss Sylvie, and Julien, Luc and Patricia. None of them were happy to meet her, or to work with her. Emily meets Mindy while having lunch alone. Mindy is a Chinese girl, who works as a nanny to a French family. She belonged to a wealthy family, and a dropout from college, in order to live by her own terms, rather than taking over her family business. She has a dream of becoming a singer, but her father insisting on taking over their zipper business. Emily and her boyfriend from Chicago, Doug, got broke up since he didn't know how to do long-distance relationship. While still mad about the boyfriend, Emily harbored feelings for Gabriel, a chef/neighbor, and mostly a lifesaver for Emily in most of the occasions. Emily received acceptance from her colleagues when her post about Vogue Jeune, a product marketed by Savoir, got tweeted back from a Brigitte Macaron. By that point, Emily has 5,811 followers and started to gain more followers on a daily basis. Antoine, a perfume manufacturer, and an important client to Savoir, was impressed with Emily's perspective on work. This made Emily's life quite miserable, since Sylvie turns out to be Antoine's mistress. On top of that complications, Emily received a helping hand from Camille while purchasing some roses, and she turned out to be Gabriel's girlfriend. This scenario makes things got worse, since unknowingly Emily already kissed Gabriel, and Camille has been nothing but an amazing friend to Emily. Camille even introduced clients like Randy Zimmer to Emily, so she can have better chances to survive in Savoir. Surviving in Savoir has been hectic for Emily for sure, with her lack of French knowledge, and constant mistakes she makes while she is in a study with French culture. She started taking French classes to solve on that matter, but keep on messing up with French customs like, French people don't talk business at a party, and they would smoke for pleasure, and to keep the body slim rather than taking a gym membership. On top of that, she finds urinals placed in public open areas, like near the Seine River, and they consider the first floor of the building to be the ground floor and the next one to be the first floor and so on. This made Emily get confused about the floor her apartment is located. Despite of her ideas being success on her client's perspective, brands like Vogue Jeune, Hastens Beds, her initial ideas with the legendary, iconic fashion designer Pierre Cadault was a failure, as he regarded her nothing but basic. Though she managed to convince him to stay in Savoir, a newly recognized brand Grey Space made an attack on Pierre's dress, made him shattered. Sylvie almost fired Emily for suggesting the donation of the dress, that Grey Space attack, but somehow Pierre bounced back, taking influence from Emily, thus making Sylvie reconsider the contract termination. Through and through, Emily's followers started growing, and she even got invited as an influencer to a lunch organized by the famous makeup brand Doris. After having to break up with Doug, Emily got into few romances. She had a bit of a flirt with Fabien, she met at Mindy's party, and more intimate romance with a philosophy professor, Thomas, who turned out to be a snob. By mistake, she even slept with Camille's younger brother Timothy, who Emily assumed to be Camille's elder brother Theo. Emily even stole the heart of Pierre Cadault's nephew Matthew Cadault. So coming to end of season 1, Matthew wanted to spend the weekend with Emily in Saint-Tropez, but Emily had an intimate night with Gabriel, since he is leaving to Normandy to open his own restaurant. Camille on the other hand, broke up with Gabriel, since he won't take the money her family offered, in order to buy the restaurant he currently working in Paris. As well she wanted Savoir to promote her family champagne, and Emily had a meeting with Camille's mother about the promotion. Antoine and Sylvie are not in good terms, due to his wife's interruption on their long-planned vacation. Though the two of them kept fighting, Antoine continued to be in Savoir, and he decided to invest in Gabriel's restaurant, so that Gabriel doesn't have to move to Normandy. As for Mindy, she started singing in a bar, and on hearing that the French family fired her from the nanny position. Therefore she shifted to Emily's apartment. So Emily had to deal with all the problems with Gabriel, Matthew, Camille and Sylvie in season 2. Stay tuned for the season 2 recap. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you won't miss a single update. In the meantime, you can watch the clips of Emily in Paris previous seasons that we post every week. See you guys on next week.